This is Old School Oliver John, and you're watching NorCal Tonight.
What's up, everybody? Another episode of NorCal Tonight. We are here in beautiful Oakland with the one and only unstoppable Thunder Rosa. Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
I have seen you from beginning, and I don't want to say till end because we're just in the middle of your awesome career. But yeah, we're gonna talk some wrestling. So, Thunder Rosa.
Yes.
How's things been going?
Busy, man. I just finished my, well, it wasn't a tour. I just went to Canada on Friday, and then I come back on yesterday with no sleep to East Bay. So, but I've been like traveling and like wrestling for like the non-stop for like 2 weeks. So.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
My poor little body's tired.
So we're obviously going to talk a lot about your career, but one of the things I always wanted to ask you, so you worked Canada, Mexico, and Japan.
Yes.
And obviously multiple states here.
Yes.
What's the biggest difference, like when you think of a crowd, like, and you think of the differences between each individual state, country, so on and so forth?
Well, it depends on
like
the
Japan,
promotion.
for instance.
Well, in Japan, they're very I don't know, they like really young women.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, they're like really young women and or big stars. You know, they really are like big fans of like WWE or TNA or NWA. Believe it or not, the NWA is pretty popular.
Oh,
right?
yeah?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So they like that, and depending on what the promoter promotes as much, that's who will become like the star, you know?
Yeah.
It's not so much about your abilities to wrestle, it's like who they're focusing on and they're making the star.
Oh, okay. I kind of see what you're saying. And as far as like Mexico, are they pretty rowdy when it comes to the crowd?
Oh, they're brutal.
Yeah.
They're like, if you suck, they literally tell you to get out.
Ah, yes.
Like that. Like, they're not like fans here like, oh, good match. They're like, you fucking suck. Like, I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, they keep it real.
No, they do. They do. There's been, when I had my first match in Mexico, I was terrified because it wasn't a big stadium, but it was like, probably there was 100 people and they were brutal, dude, like brutal. So I used their negativity and I was just talking smack the whole entire time. So if I wasn't very good, they didn't care because I entertained them. But I saw them telling them like, they were saying, "Otra, get the hell out."
What about and just to finish it off, because you mentioned Canada just recently, is that crowd pretty? Because I mean it's wrestling heavy in Canada, right?
Yeah, it is.
So they're pretty critical on you guys too.
Yes, yesterday's crowd, on Friday's crowd was really easy, I will say. They were very nice and very easy to entertain.
Nice, that's fun. So what's your favorite? Do you like working heel? Do you like working face?
Well, I like working face because I can do the flashy stuff, but I like working heel because I can get away with everything. Because I can converse in Spanish and they really don't care.
And you mean that from just all promotions, right? Because they just kind of look right past it, right?
Yeah, like here in California, just like hit and miss. It depends on where I'm working. Usually it's more like heel, but in Texas, I'm like super baby face. I come out with Selena and people just go crazy at the beginning. I'm not even wrestling, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're my favorite wrestler!" Because I dance with everybody.
And this is all just, what did we say earlier, 2.5 years in?
Yes.
2.5 years.
Yes.
Did you get a lot of like, I don't want to talk too much about negativity, but did you get a lot of heat?
For what?
Just, I mean, you were in Japan. How long did it take for you to get to Japan?
Man, when I
How long did it take?
When I got called into Japan, I had less than 10 matches on my belt.
That's awesome.
I
How'd that
mean-
make you feel at that point? When that was all going down?
I was like shitting in my pants. Like, what else? Like, I'm like still learning how to put a match together. Like how to work the crowd. And then they're like, "Hey, you're going to Japan," and then like they call so many. I mean, I don't want to put the business in kayfabe, but damn, it was hard. Like, and I had a terrible memory, so I learned the hard way, man. But it was good though.
Didn't you get injured?
Yeah, I got a concussion my first month there, and I was out for a whole month.
And you were out for a month. How did they take to the concussion? Is it the same as it is here in the States, where it's a pretty serious situation? And did you know they take extra precautions nowadays?
They just gave me a month, and they're like,
oh yeah?
Yeah, that's it.
When you got the concussion, I mean, did that make you feel any kind of way?
Oh, it was bad. It was bad because the first week I couldn't literally do anything. I couldn't eat. I couldn't exercise. I was really dizzy, and I was forced to like get out of bed because I was in bed, and I was just like, it was really hard for me. But then I came stronger. Like I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to try to do more crazy stuff, which I should have. But I was trying to like, I wanted to come back, and I wanted to make a statement there that it doesn't matter how good or bad you are, like you can definitely, like, if you work hard, you can make something out of it.
Yeah. What is that? So you had the concussion then, and have you had any other injuries?
Concussion, and then I busted my rotator cuff last year. June, I was out for a month. I was supposed to be out for like 3 months, but this man right here, he's like, "Nah, you're ready. Go to work. You gotta work to work."
When you say go to work, because that's real, right? The reality is that this is your job, though.
Yeah, because I was working with Underground, or we had like a break, and then I had to go back, and we were worried that they were not gonna let me wrestle or get in the ring, but I had to cancel all my bookings too, so I lost a lot of money on there. But I mean, it is what it is. You just have to bite the bullet and work smart.
And I mean, this is your permanent position, though, right? I mean, you don't have a 9 to 5.
Nope.
What you do for a living is wrestling.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man.
I wrestle for a living.
How long before Lucha Underground contacted you? So like you 2.5
I was
years
now, bro. I was like, not even a year after I debuted. It was like Japan, then I came back, I got super busy, then I was planning to go to Mexico, and then the Stardom USA happened, and the scouts came, and that same day they were like, give us a call when you're driving back to Oakland. Then I called, and they're like, if you're interested, we'll have a contract for you. Lucha Underground happened, and then Mexico happened, which is like in the edge of like my first year in the business. And I was not a lucha girl. I trained American. No. So that was really hard too. Like the transition from doing a style that you're used to, and then something completely different, and on TV. Like I can't even describe it. I don't even know how I pull it off.
I was there for your, I don't know if it was your debut, but I remember being there in the crowd for Lucha Underground, and you were gonna do like a sneak-in thing, and you looked up and were like,
"What's up, bro?
Is that you, bro? Oh, is that you?" I remember that day. I'm never gonna forget that. That was good stuff. But yeah, all within a year. I mean, you had Japan and national television. Did you have to try out for Lucha Underground?
No, I didn't.
You didn't even have to try out?
No.
They just bought into the character immediately, and not necessarily the character.
Krista Joseph saw that I had a lot of potential and talent, and it was a tag team, and he decided to like contact me. And then the way that I approached him too, I didn't approach him as a fan, again, because I never watched wrestling when I was younger, and I didn't really know who he was, so I was just being me,
Yeah.
I think that's what he liked, because I wasn't like sucking it up or anything. So that's what he said. Like he saw a lot of potential, and then every time he saw how the character flourished as the time passed by, like he really enjoyed that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, now they have you as like a goddess, right? Or you're one of the gods?
Yes.
Yeah. See, that's beautiful stuff. Lucha Underground, I mean, I feel kind of like starstruck at times, These males, fancy.
I'm the same person. It's just I portray a queen / like crazy bitch on TV and Netflix.
When I heard...
Oh my God, that was the funniest thing.
I was
like, I didn't wrestle, and I had a chant. That's pretty cool.
That was solid.
That Cobra Moon, like season 2, you didn't really know who she was until season 3. That's when, you know, like the whole story started, you know, developing. And then now I have a stable and I come out and I shout orders and stuff like that. So
That's too cool.
I just want to know what's going to happen in season 4. Where are they going to take this character? 'Cause, like,
We've been waiting for tapings or for, you know, the tapings so we can go enjoy as fans, and we haven't seen anything yet. So is Cobra Moon strictly in Lucha Underground, or
Yes.
do you get to use that elsewhere?
Now we currently can use the character in any promotion. So if you guys know anybody that wants to use Cobra Moon, you need to contact Vampiro and let them know that you want Cobra Moon in your show, and I'll be there with a mask on. Yeah, so that's extra work for me.
When you go work as Thunder Rosa, do you bring the mask with you?
I always bring it with me.
Yeah, you always bring it with you. Oh, that's cool. Do fans ask to wear it or see it, or?
It depends. Like when in Texas, I have a lot of fans that are like hardcore Lucha Underground fans. So I wear it and we take pictures. Oh, it's a nice bike. Sorry, I'm like, that's a pretty nice bike. So I wear it and we take pictures. Like when I go to my family, I take pictures in Chicago, Mexico, whatever, just for the heck of it. Because like my cousins like that, and my dad is like always bragging to everybody, like, my daughter is on TV.
I bet, right? That's
but it's
awesome.
like, it feels so weird. I'm the same person. Like you see me, I'm never gonna. I mean, I only brag about it when it's necessary or when I have to, but I really don't.
Yeah.
Or when I'm trying to get out of a ticket.
Well, the best thing. The best thing to do is to stay humble. That's funny.
Yeah, no, you know, right? I did that in
It's
Texas,
true.
and we got out of a ticket.
Has pro wrestling played a part at any time like that, trying to get out of a ticket, trying to get a free tab, or anything like that?
Free tabs, that happens often, especially when they know who I am. The ticket part, we were in Texas. Brian got pulled over with all the girls from Sabotage, and I came out with my gear on and everything, and then I'm talking to the police officer, and I'm like, hey man, you know I'm on Lucha Underground, I'm on Netflix. I actually have a poster. You want a poster? He's like, no, don't worry about it. It says this is a warning, and I'm like,
But you did get off though, no ticket.
yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
then in New Mexico, we got stopped again, and I got the ticket, and I was like really trying, but it had supervisor.
Because I've seen, you know, you're on social media constantly, which you should follow, everybody that's watching. But your face paint, like, do you have that on quite often? Like when you're going out promoting, or because we all know Sabotage Wrestling, you're big into that, part owner, I would assume.
I don't go with my face paint on. I just go like as me, and then I post stuff everywhere. Only when I'm like in Texas with Jimmy, because he has me do that with the sponsors, because he puts that on his stuff. So that's when I go with a face paint on. Or when I go to the movies and I don't have time to take my face paint, I'll just go like that. I don't care.
Oh, that's awesome. The face paint. Can I ask, was that something immediately? Because I don't remember it immediately. It was something that came later, right?
It came later. Like we were working in Lucha Extreme, and then
Lucha Extreme.
they asked me like, oh, you want to wear face paint? Well, and have somebody do it for you, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? So they did it full, and then Manny Fernandez was like, you're too pretty for like full face paint. You should just use half. And I was like, aight. So we used half, and it just like sticked. And then we were just using it there. I wasn't using it in other promotions. And then after the concussion, Brian suggested that I should wear something that is gonna, you know, make me stand out from all the girls, and that was a face paint.
Yeah. Well, and the reason why I bring that up is because I love the Twisted Sisters and how you're doing the half Holodead, half Thunder Rosa. When were the Twisted Sisters born? Was that born in Japan?
No, that was born here. We were, Holly and I were like wrestling a lot, and then Brian was like, oh, you guys should tag. And I'm like, all right, let's tag. And then we talked to, what's his name? MVP?
Oh, yeah. Prime time.
And then, and he said, yeah, sure, we'll have you with a Class Connection. And that's the first time that we tagged together.
Really? That was the first time?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, because I was there for that. I didn't even know that was the first time. I was there for that. That was a good time. But that's taken off. You guys won the NWA Western States Tag Team titles, right?
Yes, we did.
Yeah?
We were the first women, and we're in the books that we made history. We're like,
yeah. Oh, that's too cool.
Dude, when we took those to Japan, they were like scrutinizing them because they say Vendetta instead of NWA. They're not real. And we're like, it is real. Check it on your books, people. We're sanctioned by the NWA. Oh, I was hella mad. I was like, don't give me the bullshit. We're champs. Shut up.
Oh man. Well, you're gonna be moving soon, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Texas. Now, while I've said this before, normally I'd get super sad at these kind of situations where, you know, a good friend or, you know,
No, you're not
great
sad?
talent. I am sad, but it works out so well for you, right?
Yeah.
Because you're working state to state. You're not just working here in NorCal. You've gone way beyond that. And being in Texas, does it feel like it's just the right thing to do?
I think so. Like the fans in Texas the fans and the promoters have shown me a lot of respect. Definitely, they appreciate my work and my value, and they are really willing to work with me and my husband and Sabotage. So I think it's like a great opportunity for us to like expand and recreate some of the stuff that we did here in California, and do it in somewhere where they don't really have as much women's wrestling as they should.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So like our show was like one of the very few shows that run with almost all females, and we're trying to make it bigger and better.
Well, and you know, one thing I really love about Sabotage too is when you guys are running a show, you actually try to help the talent get booked on other shows.
Yes.
Prior, right? Because this
Yes.
last Texas show, I've seen a lot of workers work the night before.
Yes.
Some of them the night after, I think. But is that something that you guys normally do? Just try to hook up with other companies in the
Well,
surrounding
yeah, I
areas?
mean, at the end of the day, it's like we all like benefit financially from it, and if we can get an extra, like I said, we don't have sponsors. Like all the money that comes to Sabotage is coming from my pocket and Brian's pocket.
Oh, wow.
So for me to get another booking the day before and try to cover some of the expenses is like the smartest thing to do. You
Yeah.
know, this is a hustle, and like we're trying to help the girls, and I know I get criticized a lot because we both are trying to help other people. You know, in the
in a
rest
very selfish industry, right?
yeah, and you know, everybody's out to help themselves, and that's it. But if you think about it, if you help others, you're helping yourself, you know, because like you can get booked with that same person in like a little tour, and you're both are making money, you know.
Yeah.
But people don't see it that way. So I mean, we'll see where we can go and what we can do for female wrestling, and then you know, we'll see where it takes us.
We're gonna cut to break. We'll come right back. We're gonna talk a little bit more about female wrestling in Texas and so on and so forth. So thanks for watching. We'll be right back.
Hey dude, what did you get to say by 10?
I got this sick 8x10 by West Coast Designs. You need some,
I already got some, so.
or anybody else. West Coast Designs, they are your people's. Dark Side recommended, Dark Side approved.
Check them out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, West Coast Design.
Dark Side approved, baby.
We're back with NorCal tonight. We were talking a little bit about female wrestling and in Texas, and so I gotta ask, because being here in NorCal, the first time I ever seen you, I think it was at PCW, may have been SPW, but you actually came from Gold Rush, right?
Yes.
And that stemmed from being a fan.
Yes.
And were you a fan of this territory here? Is this kind of what got you into wrestling?
Yeah, like, I didn't. Well, we went to a show in San Diego, but it was a WWE show. I didn't really know nothing about wrestling besides what I saw in like soap operas in Mexico. Seriously, like,
Yeah.
you know, AAA was on every Sunday, so that's what I watched when I was little. But then other than that, I didn't really like knew anybody. So when I met new wrestlers, I never got starstruck because
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
see
know who
what
the
you're
hell
saying.
they were.
Yeah.
They were like, oh my god, I used to watch it. And I was like, okay, and like, cool, you know. But then later on, as I started learning all the business, I was like, oh yeah, I should have known better. But yeah, so
It was the Independence, though.
yeah, it was like we started out going to Hood Slam, and we went there like religiously for like a good year, and then I met William Lowry, which is Donovan Troy. At Thunder Road is a rehab facility, and he kept like nagging on us, like, you guys should come to APW, you guys should come to APW, and we're like, nah, bro, like we can't, we don't have a car. And then the day that we went, he wasn't working, and that's the day that they announced that there was a tryout, and my husband and Brian was like, hey, bro, you should totally go for it, and I'm like,
Those are the exact words, too.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you should totally go for it.
yeah, I was like, I don't think so. Like, I don't know how to do all this stuff. Like, just go and see what happens. But I had to work tomorrow because, like, just call in sick. And I was like, all right. So I called in sick, and then, yeah, I pretty much died.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was pretty rough. The only thing I did really well was the running, though. I was always a good runner. Not anymore, but yeah.
So is there truly, and I don't want to break too much here, but I just want to ask, is there truly an APW Bible?
Yeah, there is.
Is that a true thing?
Yeah, there is. I
that's
still
pretty
have
cool.
it.
You still have it?
Yeah, and I use it because, like, honestly, like, I train in so many different places, like
Yes.
Mexico, Japan, Canada, in a lot of different states, and nobody has the Bible like we do. And
Wow,
the way that,
really?
yeah, the way that they train,
That is cool.
It's pretty good because they teach you the basics, and I think for me, like now that I work with so many different people, basics is the most important thing in wrestling. And if you don't have your basics right, like, yeah, you can do all this monkey flipping shit, but that doesn't mean that you're a good wrestler.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Well, no.
That's what I see.
That's interesting that you say APW is really the only place with a Bible. You know, that's pretty cool. But I do want to talk a little bit about all the training you do, because obviously we follow on social media. Dude, you've probably trained in just as many states as if you worked.
Yeah, pretty much. I like to train where I work.
Really? Is there a dramatic difference between, say, Gold Rush Pro Wrestling and, I don't know, some place out of Chicago, or?
Yes, because everybody has a different school of thought. Like when I go to Chicago, I train with Kevin Quinn, who train in New Japan Dojo in Los Angeles.
Oh.
So he trained a lot of the guys that you see in New Japan now that are very famous, you know. And I just picking his brain is incredible. Like it's no other. But then you go with other people and you're like. Then this guy that also trains there, he's a very famous lucha guy, and he's been probably in the business for 34 years, and he's a wonderful lucha trainer, and he also trains here in Hayward. So like the connection, it's pretty cool. Like he actually, these two people have actually helped me get booking, because they like when I go training, I'm always like, you know, listening, writing notes, and asking him a million questions. In Texas, I've trained at AAPW with George and them, and like the way that they train is again basics, and he likes the hustle. Like he knows that I'm from Cali, and he used to be in Cali too, and
Oh, yeah.
that. So like there's like similarities with people that are very successful in the business and people that have trained.
So do you just kind of take what works for you and then just apply what you can? And
Yeah, pretty much.
what doesn't necessarily pertain to you, just kind of let that be?
Yeah, I mean, everybody trains differently, so yeah, but you just have to adapt. I think that's the most important part to be successful.
Wow. That's amazing. So how many states altogether have you worked?
Brian, how many states did I work? He was counting today. 14.
14
Not that
states.
many. I still have a lot of
Not
states.
that many. Not that many.
No, I mean...
Well, the only reason I say it like that is there's people who've been in the business for 15 years, and a lot of them are like 3. You know, I've worked Reno, I've worked California, and Oregon is another common, you know, as far as a NorCal wrestler, and I'm not trying to say anything negative about that, but it's just in such a short amount of time. It takes a certain drive, and it takes a lot of gumption to just push for that. Did you, was this a lot on your back, or did they hit you up? Like when it came to getting the state-to-state bookings, did you contact them and send them like a tape?
No, I never sent tapes. Never sent
tapes?
No, it was
I think that's kind of old school, but yeah.
word of mouth. Some of them were word of mouth.
That is awesome. See, that's cool. So, because I've heard that you have to contact a lot of these places.
Well, I do.
And you have to tell them like, hey, I want to work.
There was at one point where my bookings were like looking really dry, and I'm like, damn, I have nothing in the summer, and I literally was on Facebook for a whole day, and I was just like looking at every promotion that I can see, and I was like, hi, my name is Rosa, aka Cobra Moon from Lucha Underground.
Does that play a big part? Does that help? I bet it does.
You gotta work all your angles, and then I'm like, can I please have the promoter's number? Oh yeah, whatever. And that's how I got in, like, you know, and then be like bugging them.
So I see a lot of other, well, I don't want to say a lot, but I see other Northern California female wrestlers getting that kind of a rub too, where they're getting out-of-state bookings. Do you put out a good word for them? Because I know you mentioned earlier that you guys look out for each other.
You see this?
I'm just asking. I'm just curious.
Oh, no. I mean, absolutely. Like, my girls from SoCal, like Ray, Heather, Ray, a lot of the girls that work really close with us, and I know that they
almost
have
like
mutual
your
respect.
Sabotage roster,
yes,
right?
We have mutual respect, absolutely, you know. And like some of the girls have put good word for me too in other places. Unfortunately, you know, you're always gonna be beefing with somebody. So like, when that happens, I try to, like, they bring the name up, and I'm like, I got no comment.
Yeah.
She's a good worker.
But people actually
Yeah.
do come to you for your opinion, though.
Absolutely, they do.
Well, that's cool, because not everybody gets that, right?
No,
I mean, a lot of people's perspective gets overlooked.
But I mean, if you think about it, my husband and I, we book him. He's a booker, but at the other night, he asked me like, "What do you think about this lady?" I was like, "I work with her. I wouldn't, this or this."
Yeah,
and that.
you would or you wouldn't.
No, because it's like I have to look at her social media. I have to look on, her professionalism in the locker room. The price. If she's gonna bring people at the door. So that's important, That's how you pay for their fee. Like how many people are coming to see that person? Because if you are not on TV, and this is even coming when I'm getting booked, like they're telling me, yeah, you're on TV, but you're not Thunder Rosa. And it's like, and they're like brutally honest with me. I cannot pay you this much. You're not charging for too much. I can pay you only this. And I'll be like, I get it. And especially when you're gonna fly somebody in and like all the accommodations, like you gotta take that in consideration. So when the bookers ask me, because they book me and then they ask me who would you like to work with, and then I was like, give me options, and then they give me the options, and I'll be like, I see out all the stuff that I just mentioned.
Awesome.
And I appreciate that, and they know I'm a business person, and I'm not talking about like, oh, this bitch, she like runs her mouth. And no, it's like she was not professional in the locker room.
Yeah.
Her postings on social media are not appropriate. This, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. If I was a promoter, if I was a booker, I personally would not book that person.
Well, honesty, that's what you have to be, too, right?
I mean,
because you could get yourself into a bad situation if you're like, oh yeah, I don't mind whoever.
I personally don't want to be in a locker room and where I know the person don't like me.
Oh yeah.
And they're gonna be like, hi, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then like the booker, oh my god, that girl, like and it has happened to me. I'm not gonna say no. It has happened to me, and people have come to me and be like, "Hey, she's talking shit about you," and I'm like, "Bro, I'm right here, man." Like,
but that plays into professionalism too, just like you said. So you can kind of, you've been doing this for a little bit now, and you can probably see it from a mile away, right?
I graduated from college. I had a regular job I had a regular job since I was 14 years old. I had to be professional.
Yeah.
Since I was 14.
It's integrity.
And this is called professional wrestling for a reason. Yeah, sometimes it is like high school, whatever, but we're still professionals in it. And the ones that make it big, they're professional. And yes, they get into arguments and whatever, but you either squash it or you don't,
Yeah.
But that's how it is. Like I was talking to Tommy Dreamer on Friday, and he was telling me like he has some beef with some people, but then they squash it and they were able to work. And the same with he's booking certain people, he tells me what he books and why he books them. So I listen to people like him. He's very successful.
That's amazing that you actually, because see, and what's even more amazing is that you weren't necessarily a wrestling fan growing up. So when you say things like, oh, I had this talk with Tommy Dreamer, I hear that completely different than the way you actually took that in. Because to you were like, yeah, it's Tommy Dreamer. But to me, I'm like, oh shit, that was Tommy Dreamer. Like, right? So do you find yourself in that position a lot? I mean, is there a lot of, I don't want to say bigger names, I don't like using that term, but is there a lot of bigger names that know who Thunder Rosa is?
Yeah, and they know that I didn't know who they were.
And they knew that right from the jump.
Because I told them, because I see people.
So when people tell you, like, oh, Tony Schiavone said you're awesome, you're like,
oh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Like, I actually had to ask Camille, I was like, Camille, can you explain to me, like, where do you work?
Just give me a heads up. Who's talking?
I mean, I did not watch wrestling. Like, I did not watch ECW, WCW, WWF. I was not a wrestling fan. I became a wrestling fan once I started training.
Well, and I actually think that may have helped you a little bit in your career because you're not taking it so personally. Some people see it as like a passion, and I know you have passion for what you do, but you're not taking it like, oh my God, Tommy Dreamer. It's more like, yeah, Tommy Dreamer told me that I did good in this, and I listened to him for this, and it's business. It's business.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Because some wrestlers out there, I'm not calling anybody out, but they get very like if Tommy Dreamer said your match sucked, it's like it's over for them. Oh my God, But
he told me that, by the way.
You were like, okay.
On my first match with Colidad, we like shut the bed, and he was like, literally, he told us like straight up what we did wrong, and I was like, that's good. Like that's what I wanted to hear. Like the fact that he took the time to watch us that means a lot, you know. And he took the time to watch our match in Canada, and he gave us feedback for like 30 minutes.
Whoa.
That means a lot because he sees something in us,
Yeah.
you know. And he like, I was like, okay, ladies, come over here, and he's coming to us. We're not like, sir, do you have feedback for us? Like, he's coming to us. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, he's a real veteran, and he's like the real business, you know.
And he's showing recognition, and that's cool because you are working hard. Shit, I don't think when it comes to gym time, there's very few that hold up to the hours you put in, right? Like weekly, let's just say in 1 week, what are your average hours in the gym?
Well, if I'm not traveling, it has to be like 15 hours.
Wow, 15 hours a week.
Yeah. I like to be at the gym. That's my spot.
And it goes way beyond just, you know, because being a female, you're not looking, you know, a lot of guys go to the gym, they just want arms, chest, and shoulders.
No, it's everything.
But
No, I hang out with nothing but meatheads, so they'll be like, girl, you gotta work on your shoulders, girl. Like, I have a couple friends and here actually, and they gave me workouts, like leg and back, and then I have my from San Antonio, like, it's the military, I could like give me chest and biceps and triceps, so I'm like doing all these like crazy workouts, like right now, like heavy stuff, and it's like really helping me. Like this year, like my body has changed, I got a little bit bigger, so it's better.
Oh, so you like added weight?
Yes, like yes.
Were you ever in the gym before? Before pro wrestling, were you a regular gym goer?
I tried. I mean, Brian and I, we tried, but we weren't very successful. And then, yeah.
Pro wrestling gave you some drive?
We have to, yeah.
Is that what sells? Is this a body sport?
Yes.
It's a body sport,
Absolutely.
right? Absolutely, dude. That's
Hey, bro, you have tits, you're good looking, you got a booking. It's true. It's true. I'm serious.
Just keeping it real, man.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I mean, one booker, he told me like, oh yeah, we love girls that have talent, but if you're eye candy and you can work, you got it all.
Wow.
I got no tits though.
Is that regular? Is that state to state everywhere it's like that? I mean, I know that's not the only reason.
No, but it works though. It helps.
It plays a huge role.
It's we're in the entertainment business.
Yeah.
We're in the entertainment business.
We're gonna cut to break. We'll be right back with more Thunder Rosa. Thank you for watching. We'll be right back.
To becoming a professional wrestler, then what are you waiting for? Join the PCW Work Farm now. Quality instructors, live monthly shows, classes every Wednesdays and Sundays, and with the most affordable rates in the United States, PCW has been Northern California's #1 force in sports entertainment for the last 17 years. Pro Championship Wrestling, because it's time.
We are back with more NorCal tonight with Thunder Rosa. I want to ask, matches, you've had plenty and you've faced a lot of top ladies, a lot of top guys too. Any match in particular that sticks out in your mind?
Well, right, it's fresh. I will say the Lila Doom. It was in Inspire Pro in Texas. It was like the emotion, and that wasn't so much about the moves or anything. It was like the emotion that we were able to portray. Like she was going through a lot at that moment, and
oh, like personally?
Yeah, personal stuff. And
she took it to the ring, huh?
I told her. This is the funny part. I saw her like, you know, I gave her the pep talk, and I just looked at her in the eye. I was like, when you see me in that ring, see me as that problem that you're facing right now, and beat the shit out of me.
Thunder Rosa. Oh, Doom not letting up either.
Each competitor getting hit while sitting in a fan's lap. You know, that's what you get when you buy the front row tickets here to Inspire Pro Wrestling.
I've never seen Doom be this aggressive, and I think that's what holding a championship is. Thunder booting Thunder Rosa. Delilah Doom clearing the plane of the ring to break the referee's 20 count. She's not done with Thunder Rosa out here on the floor. Oh, Thunder Rosa with a straight slap and sends her to a chair.
That's going to leave a huge mark on Delilah Doom's head as the fans try to clear the way.
Now just sending Doom staring first into the ring apron. Thunder Rosa just picking apart here and again breaking that count. But she's not done on the outside. Like I said, I think pleasantries have gone out the window here between these two.
And now fans are moving out of the way.
They're charging!
And now both competitors on the floor. After what appeared to be a charging kick there by Thunder Rosa.
getting aggressive and spitting the water in the face of Thunder Rosa.
And now Doom breaks the count again.
Oh, wait, what is Doom? What is she doing? No. Suplex on the floor!
And there's no padding around the ring. It is nothing but hardwood floor for bodies to make contact with.
Doom is going to do it again? DDT!
Thunder Rosa spiking Delilah Doom's head on the floor with that vicious DDT.
I remember, I got on the ground, right? She's just going fucking crazy. She's like, and I'm like, fuck, my face. Girl, it's not work. That's not work. So I was like, okay, she's gonna get a receipt. She's gonna get a receipt. Then I was like, okay, now it's my time to kick you. I kick her so hard. I thought she was not gonna make it. But it was like, I haven't had like such an intense match with, well, I have had matches like with Holiday. We always like had matches that were very intense. But in particular with Delilah is because she's such a baby face. Like I was able to like bring the most aggressive that she's ever been in Texas.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And the boys in the back when we came out, like after the finish, like they were like applauding.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Just popping the boys in the back. Is
That's
that better
crazy.
than popping the crowd?
The crowd was like so divided, and that's her like home turf, you know.
Yeah.
And then I came in, and it was just like, it was brutal. I really enjoy it. Yeah, some things, you know, like it always happens. It wasn't a perfect match, but at that point, I think it was perfect for what we both were.
I mean, there's no perfect match, though, right? Have you ever felt like you've had the perfect match?
No, bro.
No, right? I mean, that's not.
I'm still working on it.
Yeah, I think that's gonna last forever, man. I don't think. I don't know. It feels to me that pro wrestlers work on it for the entirety of their career.
Yeah,
Right.
but this one in particular, I was like,
And
I
Delilah
didn't feel that
Doom,
bad. I didn't feel that bad for
Delilah Doom's your world champion, right?
Yeah, she's a sabotage.
Yeah, sabotage.
World
So what is it?
champion.
Sabotage world title, sabotage heavyweight title. What's the?
She's a
phrase?
sabotage women champion.
There you go. Sabotage women's champion.
Yes, she is.
What? She had to win. Did she do it? There was a tournament style for that,
Yes,
right?
yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How many shows have we done sabotage? How many has there been?
3.
3?
And we're going for our 4th in San Diego, which is all intergender, and will be the first ever intergender show in like its entirety in the states of California.
In the West
In the
Coast?
West Coast, yeah.
So it's going to be
State
the
of California.
first intergender complete show in the entire West Coast.
Yes.
And that's August 5th.
Yes.
Dude, that's awesome, man. Who do you have? Who are you?
Ray Rosas, and I know the fans are like the battle of the Rosas. Be expecting for another.
right.
I have a really good idea for a promo. You guys are gonna be like, it has to go viral because of what I'm gonna do. This is gonna be stupid, but the battle of the Rosas, baby. Ray Rosas is just Thunder Rosa.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome, man.
It's gonna be my
awesome.
ass.
I remember, and I'm just gonna switch gears here back to a match I remember seeing. You mentioned Receipt earlier, and I don't know if you would remember this specific spot. I'm a fan, so I remember specific spots. I took a drive up to Chico. I think it was called GGP.
Oh.
Yeah. Right.
Steve's like, no.
I went up to GGP, but you had a match with Holiday. Obviously, the only reason I went.
Oh my
I'll be
God.
honest, guys. I have taken road trips, hours road trips just to see you wrestle because it's such a rarity in Northern California for you to get a booking. So I always try to make it out. But in that match, I believe it was a backhand chop, or
Oh yeah.
was it a backhand chop? And you gave this look. You were like, "Oh hell no!" And you guys just gave it to each other. So you and Holiday work a lot together. Do you guys often put a little more oomph into
I think it's when we're mad at each other. That's when we really like tried to kill each other. Like there was one occasion where I don't know why we were mad at something. You know when you're mad at your sister, you just want to beat the shit out of each other.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're in practice and we're just like messing around, and it's just turning into a shoot. And I'm like really trying to choke her ass. Just fucking go to sleep. Just fucking go to sleep. You know, like the same when we're mad at each other, and then in the matches, she's like, no, we're going all the way out. And I'm like, no, bro, like let's take it easy. Like, no, we're going all the way out. I'm like, oh, okay. But that actually is our favorite match, the one in GGP.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, we went like Japanese style, bro, and it was like.
You guys were throwing forearms, dude. I was like, oh damn.
Yeah, but it was like, I remember we laughed. We watched that match and we were laughing because like some of the stuff we did, I was like, we don't do that no more.
So getting stiff with Holodad, or Holodad, excuse me, getting a little more snug with Holodad is easier than other opponents, I would assume, because you guys spend so much time together.
Yeah, and then we train the same way, and you know, we know each other very well. Like we're sisters. Like literally, we're sisters.
Yeah, that's Twisted Sisters for real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is that when they ask you, when they book you, I should say, to wrestle Holodad? I mean, do you get excited over that, or do you guys would rather do the Twisted
No, man.
Sisters?
Like we were like last time we were booked like against each other. It was at Brave. That never happened, by the way. We were like so into it. Oh, we're gonna put this like the match that we planned in our heads. You know, it was gonna be probably one of the best matches that we were gonna have.
Yeah.
And then it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. I've heard that story. That one was pretty good.
People weren't ready for it. Like it was gonna be saucy. Like we were been practicing some lucha spots, you know, and we've been training and like we had like all this cool stuff and it didn't happen. We were kind of sad about it. Somebody was gonna die that night.
Do bookings get canceled often?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Man, is it short notice or do they give you some time?
Depends
It's
on the
hit or
promoter.
miss,
No,
huh?
depends on the booker, man. Some bookers don't give a shit, and they're just like,
Call you on Thursday? when
yeah,
the show's
man.
Friday?
Like, hey, man, I'm sorry, we were not able to, like, blah 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 blah. Or you're like calling and calling, hey, where's my ticket? Where's my ticket? Where's my ticket? And they never respond. And you just have to. Sometimes you just have to put them on blast on social media and like.
What about like a payout and then them not trying to give you as much as what was agreed upon? I've just heard in the pro wrestling business. I've just heard in the pro wrestling business, and I'm not asking to call anybody out, but I'm just curious: is that something that happens? Where they're like, "Oh, I'll give you so and so," and you get there and they offer you a Pepsi.
Man, you know what? Like, they're like, man, you know what? The house was kind of short, and we can only give you this much right now. And you're like literally just looking at them like. And I gotta pay my bills. Like one time I actually went off on somebody over the phone and I was like, that's not my motherfucking problem. No, I was like, that's not my motherfucking problem, you know?
Yeah.
Do you think when I call AT&T I'd be like, hey, you know what, the promoter didn't pay me my full rate. Is that okay? Can I still have my phone? I know I'm behind like 3 months, but can I still have my phone? They'd be like, hell no, bitch. Like, no. You got disconnected, you know, it's like I get so mad because, you know, like I said, we on Sabotage, we're straight with the girls. Yeah. We are completely straight. You know, and we try to respect their fees as much as possible. And that's what we do because we believe in them. But it's like when they try to do me like that, I'm like, nah, bro, like you said that you were gonna do that and you didn't do it.
So does all these experience play a huge part on how you handle things at Sabotage? It sounds like it.
Yeah.
It sounds like all your bad experiences are things you're trying to avoid in your Sabotage locker room.
Yeah, it does. Like definitely does. Like we're trying to like create something new and different and respect it as much as possible. And like I said, when we can do certain stuff, we're straight with the girls. Like definitely.
That's freaking awesome.
And the boys too.
And merch too. You also give them a place to sell their merch.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Sabotage, I've heard, does quite well at the merch table, right?
Yeah, like the last in Texas, the girls did really, really well in merch.
Yeah, and that's a big deal, right? Any pro wrestler. I mean, we know that you have a few shirts out there, right? I mean, merch is like probably, I would assume.
Yeah, I have like six different shirts right now.
I would assume it's about 50 to 70% of your income when it comes to actual show day.
I would say it's like almost 90%.
90%, right? That's what I see. I didn't want to go too far there, but I would assume it's probably 190 times the amount of your payout.
Yeah.
And when it comes to merch though, so you go beyond shirts though, don't you have like the little dolls?
I have dolls, big dolls, hats.
Oh, you got hats?
Yeah, I have hats. All colors and flavors. What else we have? Towels, like for the heat right now. You can put your face and stuff. Posters.
So,
bunch of stuff.
what if we're not able to see you at a show? Because obviously Northern California, we're not seeing you too often. Can you purchase through Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I sell them like however you guys want.
So you just ship them out?
Pro wrestling tees. Do I have like 3?
Oh, you have a pro wrestling tee?
Yes, I do.
How has that played out for you? Has that been just over the top beneficial? Or?
I mean, I need to do more work. I should be like pushing it more, but like, I push my stuff more because I get
Your
like,
on-hand
yeah.
sale would
Yes,
be more
yes.
beneficial, I
Yes.
would assume.
But it's extra income, like that you can't deny that.
Yeah, why say no to something?
Yeah, absolutely.
What shirts do you have available on Pro Wrestling Tees? Is
I
it something
have-
that you normally carry on hand as well?
No, I don't.
They're
just
exclusive?
for us, yes.
Oh, well, that's
Exclusive
cool.
online.
That's awesome.
And the ones that I have with me, they're exclusive at the shows.
And pretty soon you'll have a website, though, right?
I have a
You already
website. I have a website, but I have not been able to like update it as much as possible because I used to sell a lot of my stuff from there too.
When you're also busy, right? You just got off like a 2-week tour. So
like great.
time is of the essence nowadays, right?
Yeah, and then like when you are in like other states and you're just want to take the day off, you literally just want to take the day off.
Is the time change? Does that ever bother you?
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're going from the west to the east coast. I mean, obviously that's
worst,
3 hours,
bro.
right?
Yeah, that's the worst.
You get jet lag and all that kind of stuff?
Yes,
Oh, dude,
yes.
that
It's like
suck.
I'm in California at times, like 3 in the morning, and I'm like, I need to go to sleep. But I've been taking some supplements. I'm sponsored by Strike First Nutrition,
Strike first.
and they have this thing called Nightcrawler. I take it, and I get knocked out.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's good. It's some good.
It's some good.
Some good.
She said,
Some good
She said it's some of that good, man. You should hit up Strike First, right?
Nutrition.com. Yeah. Use Thunder for
Are
your
you
code.
are you sponsored by multiple people?
I'm sponsored by them. I'm working with another, like they're starting a clothing line for wrestlers. They just hit me up, and I think they're gonna start sending me some stuff.
Oh,
I'm trying to build my Instagram base a little bit bigger, so I can ask for like bigger sponsors. And
is that a big deal? Your follower count, is that? She's like, that's the biggest deal. That's the biggest deal. How many do you have now?
in Instagram, I have 15,800 or 900.
And that's not enough for them to.
No, I think for that I have to have like over like 60,000, 70,000.
Oh, yeah?
For like big companies, yeah. To start looking at your stuff. For Pro Wrestling Tees, I think it's like 10,000 followers in total with all your social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then fucking Twitter is the hardest one.
Yeah, Pro Wrestling Tees gave me the nod. You get like $7 a shirt. I thought that was pretty cool, but still, like, yeah, you do have to have a lot of followers, which I kind of felt like was, I don't know. I guess it is a big deal to have the masses behind you.
Yes.
So what's coming up in the future? Like outside of Lucha Underground, anything big on the horizine? Any more
Everything is
Japan?
big, man.
Are you going back to Japan anytime
No,
soon?
but I'm going to Europe.
You're going to Europe?
Yes.
First time in Europe?
Yes, I'm gonna be in Spain, London. Apparently, I'm booked in Scotland
Whoa!
and Germany.
Whoa, bro. Whoa.
And I'm probably, if I don't get booked that weekend, the last weekend, I'm going to Paris.
Just for you though, right?
I'm just gonna go by myself, be like drinking some coffee and some hot rolls or something.
Does Brian, which we all know is your husband, does he get to go on any of these trips
Hell
with
no! He's at home working. He even making that money.
you? He's at home clocking in, right?
Yeah, he'd be like, I gotta work for that bitch.
Oh, that's too good. That's too good.
Hey,
So-
he wanted a women wrestler, right? Nah, there you baby, there you go. You have it. It's right there for you.
You're just giving him what he wants?
Yes.
That's all it is?
He wants that fame, baby.
When you take those international trips, do you normally like stay clicked up with, I don't know, wrestlers, or are you just kind of out there on your own, just doing your thing?
It depends on like how the vibe is in Japan. Like the first tour, it was like Starfire, Nikki Storm, and me, like always just like
Just
going.
everywhere.
Yeah, and then the second time it was probably that, and then sometimes I just like to go on my own and I'll just meet a bunch of people from like different places. And in Europe, I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, that sounds exciting though. Europe, I've never even, obviously I've barely been out of the state, but 2.5 years, by the way, 2.5 years, she's getting ready for a Europe tour. That's amazing. So with popularity, obviously comes a whole bunch of things, and we just mentioned all the followers, and you know, I don't like to always ask, but when I have a female on the show, I like to ask how creepers online. So
They're great.
they're awesome. They're awesome. What would we be without them? But you've done like bikini stuff, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because you have sponsors there
And you
too,
know
right?
what? And you know what?
What is that,
I do it for Lazy to Racing.
Lacy to Race.
And they give me, you know, some of the nicest bikinis ever.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But when you do those kind of shoots and you want to show your fans, because we just want to see what's up.
I do it for the likes, man.
Word up, son.
You see
the realest interview ever. She's like, I do it for the likes, man.
I feel like putting hashtag when I put a bikini picture and then my butt is showing for the likes. Just want to
Dude, you should come out with a shirt that just says hashtag for the likes.
I know.
Or your tights. You can put it
Oh
on
no,
your
no!
butt on your
I
tights.
should just like do the booth like the cover for the likes.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean,
awesome.
You know, it's like this business, the entertainment business, is full of people that are like, they like to do certain stuff and say certain stuff online, and you know, there's nothing that gonna stop them as long as I'm not being disrespectful or like they're crossing the line. Like, people can do whatever.
So I'm just curious, like your block list, is it long? I would assume it's like 2 pages, or you know.
You know what? I don't
If you tried
know.
to print it, it'd probably be like 4 pages.
Brian has all that information.
Oh, Brian
I
handles all
usually
that.
like before not anymore as much, but they used to send me a lot of dick pictures. The best one was when I got this gift, and it was just like, oh, I was looking at your pictures, and I did this for you, and it was like a guy jerking off.
And it was a gift.
It was a gift, and I was like, whoa! And I was like, babe, look at this thing, and he was like, oh man.
At some point, Brian had to have been like, this is unavoidable. Right? I mean, at some point, because I would just assume.
Honestly, I don't like to put the guys on blast. It's like, what for? Like, I look like a jerk, you know? And like, people have fantasies, and I am the fantasy of a bunch of guys. Like, I mean, it sounds like I'm like putting sauce on my cream on my tacos, but you know, I can't. I mean, I'm putting booty pictures or half naked pictures. Like, what am I supposed to?
What's
what's
the
reaction? They're like, oh, let's pray. Like, let me send you a prayer. And like, no. Let me send you a gift of me jerking off, you know?
Yeah. No, I completely understand. That's fun.
You want to laugh? You want to laugh?
That is hilarious, though, right? I mean, because you see, it's a business thing, and you're just like, random penises just show up on your phone, and you're like, hey, Brian, check out this one. This is crazy looking. I don't know what's wrong with this fool. You know, like, I think this guy needs to see a doctor, or things like that, you know? And I just like how it's a joke, and it's not, you're right, because other female performers, I mean, obviously, they'll go online, and they'll be like, so-and-so sent me this, and then that person gets attacked, and turned into a big old thing.
You send them like, you know, their blessings and move on.
And you're not playing into it. You're not like responding with, "Hey, bro, nice cock." You know, like that's not on the horizon here.
Why would I do that?
Exactly, right? Exactly. So, I mean, it's just move on with your life. But I just find it funny that you're like, "Hey, Brian, what the hell's wrong with this guy?"
Yeah.
That is hella funny. We're going to cut to break, and we'll be right back. With more
You
Thunder
know
Rosa.
what? You know who was gonna send me one of those? Like that random guy that just came by when we were walking.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, hey,
I can't let you walk by. Right? Well, but I do want to ask, does that happen a lot? I mean, you're state to state, you're all over the country.
It does, but at least I'd be like, they ask me for my phone number, and I'd be like, you want to buy my merch first, or you know? And Brian is just like staying there, just listening to the conversation, like just nodding, like yeah.
The only way you're getting my
I'll buy
phone
your
number
merch.
is from the receipt that I'm about to send you for the purchase you made.
Yeah, or like I give my husband's number.
There you go. That's.
He never answers.
See, now you're just having fun though. So giving the husband's number out, that's funny. We're gonna cut to break. We'll be right back. Back with Thunder Rosa. I actually wanted to talk about the different promotions you work for.
Yeah.
We've talked about some of the behind the scenes stuff, but are there any promotions in general that you wanted to just give a shout out to say, hey, you know, this is a really great company. If you get a chance, you definitely want to work for them?
I will say, well, not a company, but with Kevin Nasta with Damage 365 Radio, like he's like family to me, and like he was the very first person that, you know, just brought me to the East Coast.
Yeah.
So definitely, that's my brother right there. My brother. Inspired Pro, Metroplex, let's see, AAPW, which is in Texas. They gave me the championship over there.
Oh yeah.
Which it was a really fun match. Jimmy Perez, that's the first person that brought me to Texas, TWF, and he's always working along with Sabotage, which, big shout out to him. He's always said that I have a lot of potential. all my homies from Texas. Like I really love working there.
So has there been, and this is just a general question, has there been a time where tears were brought to your eyes because of pro wrestling? It's just a good question, right? I thought about it. I don't know if that question's been asked many times on this show before, but has there ever been a moment where you were like, just overwhelmed with emotion?
Always. Every time I win a championship.
Yeah?
I'll be crying. Like, watch the pictures from Japan when I'm winning championships. It looks like I'm dying. Like the worst pictures in the world.
Well, and I say that because you have, and my daughter included, you have a lot of young fans.
Yeah.
And sometimes, the impact you make on their lives could really, drive the emotion radar through the roof. There's one girl in particular from East Bay Pro Wrestling, and I'm not talking about my daughter here, but I don't know her name.
It's Chloe.
Oh God, she loves you, right?
Yeah, she saw me winning the Lady Luck Championship. She's been following me ever since then, and I remember she was in the Luck. I was on the table trying to sell my merch, and she's like, "Oh, you're Thunder Rosa, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Oh my God, I really like you, and you know what? You're gonna win. I believe in you." And I was like, "Right on." And I remember somebody gave me feedback about some match, and they're like, make sure that when you're having that match, you look at that one fan, and like when they're like beating you up, like look at that fan and just like struggle, right? The whole match I was looking at her, straight at her. So she's just like on the guard, like, oh my God. And then when I won, she won crazy, and ever since then, like, it's
a connection.
Yes,
right?
I went to her birthday and everything. I love her mom, her family,
Cool.
So it's like, it is different. Like she's inspired by me, and like she wants to be a wrestler. So I want her to have something that I didn't have, which is like somebody that is willing to go out of their way to like show that everything is possible.
To make them feel special.
Yeah.
And everything is possible.
And there's occasions too, and before I come out to the ring, like I'm crying because I remember the kids that I used to work with in Thunder Road, and they passed away before they reached their potential, and I just remember how lucky I am to be in Japan defending a championship, to be the first women to hold a male title, to be a 5-time champion, from California to Texas, to be in the business for less than 2-3 years and start running my own company, which is a female company with my husband, so it's like a lot of stuff that have brought tears to my eyes. And I do have my parents, my dad comes to a lot of my shows in San Diego, to have him come and watch me and say that how proud he is of me, or like when I went to Mexico, Tijuana, which is where I was born, and have like 30 members of my family, and to meet some of those members of my family for the first time in a wrestling show, that brings tears to my eyes.
And you're a star, right? I mean, that's so cool.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
They want me to like take them with my mask onto school and everything. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's what pro wrestling is. It's emotion, right? As workers, you guys are trying to elicit emotion out of us, but at the same time, we give that back to you.
Yeah.
And that's really cool. That's really cool. And I don't want to say you have fans like that everywhere, because I don't want to single her out or anything, but is that kind of common? Like, do you get a lot of the younger girls that come up to you and like, oh my God?
Younger girls, like I had a group of guys at Petaluma. My boys, Volente, like Volente's so funny. He like buys the same picture like 3 times. And especially if it's a booty picture.
That's awesome.
Yes.
That is
Jacob.
awesome.
Jacob, you remember
yes,
Jacob?
I know
That's
Jacob.
my homeboy.
Yes.
He loves me. He
does love you.
I actually know him even before I was a wrestler, so that's why he even likes me even more, because we used to go to shows together. So Jacob, then in Texas I have a couple ones. Arthur, he comes to all the shows in Austin, and he's always putting me over on Twitter. There's another one in Chicago that he goes with all my shirts to like freelance and to all the shows, and he's always putting me over.
Really? Trying to get like them to bring you in?
To bring me in. Duha, which is like super big fan of Lucha Underground, and because of him I got a bunch of likes. GTS. Oh, that's another promotion, GTS. GTS, East Bay, Baja Stars, and FCW. They're always
GTS is something everybody should be looking out for, right?
Yeah.
Pretty big deal?
It is a big deal. Like, there's a lot of stars that go there for the pay-per-views. Yeah. They're awesome. They're on the East Coast, so... Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing, man. I mean, when you look at your yearly bookings, NorCal is like 3 of them? No. 5 maybe, you know?
It depends.
It's become such a rarity, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's just not, I don't want to say it's not your territory, but at this point in your career, you've expanded so far that it's larger than that, right? I mean, SoCal, you're booked more in SoCal than you are.
Yeah, that's actually really interesting. But I mean, the part of being a professional wrestler and a successful professional wrestler is not staying in the same place for too long. In order for you to grow and in order for you to become, you know, famous, you have to take risks and you have to get out of your comfort zone. My comfort zone was Northern California, and it was Southern California, and now my comfort zone is the United States. So I just want to get out.
The United States, all of it. The whole
whole
thing.
thing.
They need to know who Thunder Rosa is, right?
Absolutely. Like I told my husband that I want to be one of the most successful Latina wrestlers that have ever been in the indie circuit, because I don't have WWE in the back. Like it's my husband.
Is WWE even on your radar? Like, is that something you would want to do? It's a hell of a schedule, right?
Yeah, you know, like I thought about it, and I wouldn't want to be in the ring per se. I would like to be more like in the back.
Oh yeah.
I like to learn. When I started, I learned a lot from the business, and it's not only wrestling. There's so many other things that you can do in the entertainment business. You know, and if the opportunity comes, if it's not as a wrestler and he comes as something else, why not? Totally take it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a job, you know, and if it's a job that will be like long term, why not?
Yeah. So I mean, so the door is basically, well, with Lucha Underground, it is a little difficult because you are a contracted professional wrestler for a nationally televised company.
It's an international company. We're
international. I'm so sorry.
We're on Netflix on April.
You are on Netflix. How'd you feel when you found out that you were going to be
brag about
a
that.
star on
That's
Netflix?
the one thing I brag about. I'm on Netflix. You can totally watch me.
On Netflix, anytime. You can stream it from your phone right now.
Yes.
Right?
And here it is, and I give him my little card. It's Cover Moon. Check it out.
Oh, that's so exciting.
I have friends when I go to Texas, they'll be bragging to like the gym manager. Oh, she's on TV. She's on Netflix. I'm like, you shut the fuck up, man. He's like, no, I'm trying to get you a free pass. I was like, all right. Cool. No, for real.
Does that happen often? I mean, because you wear a mask on Lucha Underground, but you're working the entire country. I mean, do you get noticed outside of the wrestling venue as Thunder Rosa or Cover Moon?
No, I do. At the market sometimes here. It depends, like if it's I think in Chicago too. But yeah. Sometimes.
That's exciting. Is that a humbling experience for you?
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
That is freaking awesome. And social media, is it all Thunder Rosa?
Yes, it's Thunder Rosa 22.
22.
IG, and then Thunder Rosa 2 on Facebook, and then.
What's the 22 stand for? Is that
my
just...
birthday? It's coming, July 22nd.
Nice.
I'm gonna be 21.
How many? So you've been 2.5 years in. What, in your mind, like the way you're perceiving your career, what's the end game? Are you looking at 10 years as a professional
When
performer?
I get pregnant.
When you get pregnant? That's only an 11-month break.
Brian is like, never having kids. Shut up.
Brian's like, you're gonna work till you're 65.
Like Mae Young. But I be kissing all young men.
Giving birth to baby hands. That's awesome. What?
That's what happens when you like interview
That's classic.
a wrestler. I'll be like Mae Young, I swear.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So we're looking at a 50-year career.
Yes.
You're gonna be 85 in the ring. That's beautiful. That's a good thing. But yeah, as far as the future right now, you're just accepting bookings statewide.
Yeah, and maybe later on.
I don't want to say statewide, nationwide is what I meant.
Yes,
to say.
and then later on, if this takes up to like other stuff, like I will take it to like either acting or doing shows on TV. I mean, I don't know. It's like the opportunities are endless. So
well, having the TV exposure with Lucha Underground, obviously you learn a lot from that, just from experience.
Yeah.
Right. So that'd be pretty cool. I could see Thunder Rosa on the Latina channel doing the dramas. You know, the dramas they used to have. Like, I don't know what they said, but I know there was a lot of fighting going on. They were never happy. But yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why you see me. I'm so good on the ring.
Super heel, bro.
Yeah.
Super heel. Sabotage Pro Wrestling is where the direction will go now.
Yes.
What is on the horizon for that? You're moving to Texas. Does that mean all shows are going to be based out of Texas?
We don't know yet. It depends on our finances. We want to make sure that the show it's something that we can travel with, but we'll like to keep doing California and Texas.
Yeah. Oh, so California and Texas.
Mm-hmm. And then, well, like I said, we want to expose as many people as possible. I mean, definitely, I have had people from all over the world texting me and saying how great of a job like the team is doing as far as like publicity goes online, and they know.
Well, you're definitely getting noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Are there any? I know recently there was. Again, I don't like using the word big name, but Taylor Hendricks contacted you guys, or you guys contacted her. She's actually going to be working the show.
Yes, she is.
And that's in
Texas.
November.
No, October 3rd.
October. Okay.
Yes.
And that's the show in Texas.
Yes.
Okay. The War of the Genders is what's August 5th in San Diego.
Yes.
Oh man, that's exciting stuff. Have you had any other big names contact you and say, hey, I'd like to work?
Yes.
Oh yeah?
Yes.
Have you had to turn down anybody?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's not because we want to, but it's because where we're trying to take Sabotage right now, it's not the direction that we want to go. It's like more of we want to highlight those that haven't had the chance to be highlighted, and that they're eager and hungry for a spot. And I'm not talking only about a spot in the business, but a spot for them to like make a name for themselves.
Yes.
And like I said, Brian and I were like very open, and like if they're willing to put the work. And we'll definitely will help them to get at least like their foot on the door.
Well, see, I love the idea that these people contacted you and you guys are still being selective. While some bookers and promoters, if they were contacted by a big name, are like, oh, I'll do whatever it takes, I'll bring you in, let's do it. You guys are being a little more selective, and you're just trying to build more of a roster that can get over. So that's
I mean,
exciting.
like we had a lot of criticism on our second show because they're like, a lot of people were like, oh, you guys have no names, like you guys are not gonna be successful, you guys are not gonna nobody. The place was packed.
Oh, you're talking about Clela?
The place was
you guys sold it out,
yes,
right?
The place
I think you're one of the only companies that did that.
Yes, the place was packed, and the show was one of the best shows people have experienced, like a women's show that people have experienced. I'm telling you, like, it was one of my favorite shows by far.
And then you guys don't you do something before the show as well?
The talent show.
For VIP talent show.
The talent show. The variety show.
Oh, yeah, that's exciting. You guys do things like karaoke, dance-offs, stuff like that, right?
Yeah, lip singing and stuff like that. So
you just get to see the wrestlers in a different light.
Absolutely. And people really enjoy that.
And that's worth the extra on the VIP ticket. Look at that. You're giving them something for their VIP. That's cool. Not just first in the door. Anything you want to plug? Anybody you want to put over?
Myself. No, I'm just kidding. I put myself over too much. No, I just want to thank everybody for watching this. I know it's a long interview, and you probably hear this like 50,000 times, but I don't care. I want to put over my husband. He is like being like super anal right now. Looking over people. I'm just kidding. But no, he's just like, he's a really good man. He's like, what's up with my craziness? Like, I don't know how he deals with me. I'm crazy. And then like all the time that you're away, all the husbands and wives that have to put up with that, and girlfriends that are not jealous, of course. Kudos to you guys. Like, it's rough. Like when we're separate ways. It's rough.
Well, I mean, you're living your dream, and he's got to continue to do his thing here. It's nice to have a dude who's willing to not have a problem with that.
No, he doesn't have a problem.
Because there are dudes out there that would have a problem with that.
No,
I mean, we were talking about dick pics earlier. Not every husband's going to be like, ha ha ha, that one's funny. You know, like some of them are going to be like, this is getting out of hand. That's like the 30th dick we got today. I don't know what to do about this, you know? So that's pretty cool that you have the support from Brian. That's awesome.
He's like, is he buying merch? Okay. No, delete it. Block him.
Wow, man.
Just kidding.
We'll block him after shirt number 2. That's awesome. I really appreciate this. You know, you're the best. I'm gonna miss you. We went to many a Denny's. I've been to a shit ton of your shows. My daughter's infatuated, so like I always try to make sure. But even outside of her
I was
love
sad
for
that she
you,
couldn't come on her birthday, but I was being selfish.
It was her birthday. Yeah. Let's just say we thought about having an East Bay Pro Wrestling birthday. That was.
You should have told me.
We thought about it, and other stuff. But I'm excited for you. I know this isn't the last time I'm going to see you. I'm sure APW will bring you in.
You're going to see me on TV. I'm going to be hella famous.
TV.
Like, hella
Netflix,
famous.
bro. Netflix. But yeah, NorCal, we love you, man.
Thank you.
We're gonna miss you. Even though
miss
we'll
you guys
probably
too.
see you once or twice. Hopefully, East Bay.
I will-
East Bay should just keep the title on you forever,
Hopefully.
right?
Yeah.
Just East Bay Pro Wrestling's ladies champion for 10 years straight. You're the longest reigning champion ever.
Shit.
Fly you out monthly.
Let's hope for that.
Yeah, I'm hoping. This is NorCal tonight. Thank you again so much.
Thanks, bro.
You're the absolute best. And thank you for watching.
No dick pics, brother.
No dick pics, brother.